Hello everyone, my name is Santosh Kumar and welcome to our channel Cybersatrix. In this video, I'm going to explain as how to integrate Azure Activity Logs with Splunk via Azure Event. We can integrate Azure Activity Logs with Splunk at either subscription level or resource group level or even at the resources level. In this video, I'm going to show you a very simple demo as how can you integrate Azure Activity Logs with Splunk at the subscription level. Okay, great. So let's see how can we do that. Okay, so before we move forward, let's see what is the agenda. We'll start with the overview of Azure Event Hub. Then we will go and understand how does the data flow takes place from the subscription level Azure Activity Logs to the Splunk via the Azure Event Hub. And we'll see what are the prerequisites that you need to complete this demo or to complete this hands-on, and then we'll directly jump onto the hands-on. So starting with Azure Event Hub architecture, just a note, I have created a separate video where I have explained Azure Event Hub and its component, including the architecture and its feature in a very detailed manner, and the link for the same video I'll give you in the description. Please check that before you come and see the demo on how can we send the data from the Azure Event Hub. I'm just going to give an overview here so that it will be easy for you to do a hands-on and understand while I do the hands-on in the video. Okay, to start with, it has majorly three components. One is called Event Producer, the second is called Azure Event Hub, and Consumer Group. So before we understand the components of an Event Hub is basically a streaming service which can process millions of events per second. It has clearly more advantage than the other service buses like queues and topics, right? As it can parallelly manage and process a million events per second, right? So you can check the other video for more detail. So the event producer are basically an entities which are going to produce the event. In our case, I am going to pull the Azure Activity Logs at the subscription level. You can consider another example. If I want to give, let's say that if you want to pull Azure Activity Log or Load Balancer log or WAF logs from the Azure Cloud Platform, in that case the event producer are Load Balancer, WAF, Azure Security Center, etc. The other thing to note here is that the data from the event producer to the Event Hub is sent either via HTTPS protocol or AMQP protocol, and if Kafka service is involved, in that case Kafka 1.0 protocol will be utilized. Azure Event Hub consists of a lot of partitions. It has a limitation, I think, from 1 to 32. You can increase the number of partition more than to around 1024 by connecting the vendor support. But in a general ideal situation, it should not be required until you have a very specific requirement for data processing and event processing. So basically the data or event which is sent from the event producer are load balanced across this partition, and they are ordered in each partition from oldest to the newest event. Okay, so if you want all the data to be ordered from a specific service or an application, in that case you have to point out to the specific partition whenever you are sending the data from that specific application, so that all the data from that specific application can go to that specific partition ID and they are ordered from oldest to newest event. And then we have consumer groups. So consumer groups, you can understand consumer group as a way through which you can segregate the applications which you are polling from the event producer. Consider like this. Let's say that you have 5 applications on the event producer side, and you can create a similar number of or a similar count of consumer group on the other end, right? So that each of these application can send the data to the specific consumer group, and at the end event receiver can pull those data from those specific consumer group to the respective event receiver, right? In this case our event receiver is Splunk. Okay, so in short, the data is sent to the Azure Event Hub. Event receivers, in this case Splunk, will reach out to the Event Hub and authenticate itself and pulls the data. Hope you're clear. Now let us visualize how the data flow takes place from the Azure subscription to the Splunk side, right? So I have tried my best to map the Azure Event Hub architecture while visualizing data. So as you see, under the event producer, you can have the any Azure services, but in this case, since I'm trying to pull the activity logs, you can have the activity log either at subscription level or resource group level or specific resources level from wherever you want. For example, if you want to pull the data from critical servers, in that case you can mention the specific resources from which you want to pull the data, right? So the activity logs from the subscription level will be sent to the Azure Event Hub using the HTTPS or AMQP services, as I mentioned earlier, and it utilizes something called as shared access signature. Shared access signature is a way through which the applications or the producers can identify themselves to the Azure Event Hub. So these data will be sent to the partitions. As you see, I have created two Azure Event Hub under a single event namespace just for the data flow, just for the better understanding. So what I can do, let's say that I have two environment, one is dev environment and other is my production environment. So I can create two event hub. Let's assume this is my dev environment and this is my production, right? The data from the dev environment can go to the Azure Event Hub for the data with the dev environment, and the production logs can go to the event hub called production event hub, right? And then this Splunk will connect with the respective event hub and it pulls the data and store it in. It's basically identify itself to the Azure Event Hub, and then Azure Event Hub stream all those events to the Splunk. You also have the option to of 7 days retention in the Azure Event Hub, right? So in case you have a connection broken here, still the data will be stored in the Azure Event for 7 days, and you have 7 days enough to troubleshoot and rectify the issue so that you won't lose any data from this, right? So in this case, if you see, the producers are basically the activity logs from either subscription, resource group, or the resources level. Then in the event hub namespace, I have created two event hubs, and then at the event receiver level, I have Splunk, which basically identify itself to the event hub, and then it streams the service to the Splunk. Okay, so now let's see what all steps we need to do to perform this integration, right? So first you have to create an Azure Event Hub. Secondly, you have to create an application in Azure AD. There's a section called app registration in the Azure Active Directory where you will get a chance to create an app. And then you are going to configure the Azure AD application with required API permissions so that the application that you have created, it can go and pull the required logs from the respective resource from where you want to pull the data. Next, you have to assign the required roles for the application. Implies the application that you have created, you can consider that as a user, right? And now you have to assign some roles to the user so that it can perform that activity, right? It can perform some activity on the resources. In the same way, in this case, we are going to assign some roles to the application so that it can go and fetch the required information from the resources. In this case, the resource is Azure Event Hub. Next, we are going to install Splunk add-on for Microsoft Cloud Services on Splunk. This add-on will be utilized to parse the data and also to configure the required things so that we can pull the data from Splunk. The configuration that we are going to do on this add-on is, first, in the account section, we are in this Splunk add-on, we are going to add the account, and then we are going to configure the input section in the add-on. Next, in depending on the environment to environment in your organization, you might have multiple subscriptions, right? You might have a requirement where you don't want to pull the Azure activity logs from all the subscription, right? So you have to identify the subscription from where you have to pull the logs, and then configure the diagnostic setting from the subscription so that it can start sending the log to the respective Azure Event Hub. And then we are going to verify the logs on the Splunk end. Okay, so before we jump on to the hands-on, let us understand what are the prerequisites that we have. You should have the required access, right, to your account so that you can create the application in the Azure AD. You might need either application administrator or you might need the cloud application administrator. If you don't have this permission, you might have to get the permission from the owner or the identity management team. Second, you would require again an account so that you can assign the specific role to the AD app, right? So basically your account should have the row, the access, right, to perform this. You must have this access, Microsoft authorization slash right access to assign a role to an AD app. In other ways, if I say, your account must have owner role or user access administrator role. If your account is assigned the contributor role, you will not have the adequate permission, and in that case it throws an error. Okay, hope you are clear what all things you need to perform this demo or this activity, right? So let's quickly jump onto the hands-on. As for the steps that we have seen, so first step is creating an event hub. So quickly search for the event hub resource in the search bar here, and then click on event hub. Let me create a new event hub namespace. Let me create a new resource group. Click OK, and then the namespace, I'm going to give the namespace as my demo logging, right? So one thing to note here, that whenever you give a namespace, right, you get the namespace name dot servicebus.windows.net. This is a fully qualified domain name which is assigned to the namespace, and whenever the event receiver or the event producer try to send the logs to the namespace or event hub, this plays a major role while sending the logs via HTTPS or AMQP to the event hubs, right? Let me create the location of South Central US, and let me select here as standard pricing tier. Throughput unit I'm giving at 1. For more understanding about the information about throughput units, you can check my video which I've created on Azure Event Hub. But just to give a simple understanding, throughput is units are the hardware allocated to process the units. The higher the throughput units, the higher the performance that you will be getting. Then you can enable auto inflate. So just in case you get a sudden spike in the number of data that has been sent from the event producer, the auto inflate will take care of it. Auto inflate is very similar to the auto scaling, right? So you have auto scaling up and down both, but in this case it will only take care of the auto scaling up, right? Click on next, add a tag if you like, and then review and create the namespace, and once it is validated, click on create. Okay, so once my resource is created, I'll go to the resource event hub namespace. So if you see my event hub namespace, my demo logging is created. In the namespace, if you scroll down a bit under the NTC section, you can see event hub. Click on to create a new event hub. Let me give the name as my demo event activity, and then you can have multiple partitions. The default is 4, and then you can go from 1 to 32 partitions that you want to create, right? Let me keep the retention of 7 days, and then click on create. So as you see, I have created the event hub my demo event activity, and once you have created the my demo event hub activity, you can open the event hub my demo event activity, and you can go and create a consumer group, right? By default there will be one consumer group, so you can use the same consumer group or you can create a new one. Let us say that we are going to pull dev logs, right? So I can give the consumer group name as dev. Okay, great. So one more thing that I would like to point out here is, if you go to your event hub namespace, there is something called as shared access policy. So this is the one which I'm referring to while showing the slides, where I mentioned as shared access signature. So shared access signature is nothing but shared access policy in the portal, and it has something called as root manager shared access key, and it has the required access to send and listen the logs. Send logs implies the event producer are authorized to send the logs to Event Hub, and listen implies the event listener are allowed to listen to the logs, right? You might require this string primary key if you are using if you are creating your own application. In that case, you might require the connection string primary key. Okay, so we are good. One more thing that I would tell you here is that if you create the shared access policy at the Event Hub namespace, in that case the application will have the access to send the logs to any of the Event Hub that you have created under this Event Hub namespace, right? If you want to restrict or segregate that, you will have to go to the respective Event Hub, and then in the Event Hub section go to the shared access policy, and then you can create a new one here. Okay, so as of now we have given the shared access signature or the required authorization at the Event Hub namespace level. Okay, great. So now that my Event Hub is created, now let me jump on to create the application, Azure AD application. For that, I'll go to Azure Active Directory, and under the Azure Active Directory, in the manage section, you can see something called as app registrations. So click on app registrations, right, and let us register a new application. Let me name this as Event Hub Activity Logging. Okay, and then I'll be selecting this option, accounts in this organization directory only, right? If you have a multi-tenant directory, in that case you can choose the other options, right? And then you can click on register. So as you see, I have created my Event Hub activity logging apps, right? There is no permission or the roles that has been assigned to this Azure AD app. You can, as I mentioned in earlier, you consider this Event Hub activity logging application as a user account, and then now we are going to give the required permission and the roles to this user account or the application in per se, so that it can perform the required activity, right? So first thing, we have to go to the API permissions, and what permission we have to give. For that, you can go quickly to your Splunk documents, and then here if you see, you will see that it is clearly mentioned you have to provide the API permission, which is Azure Service Management API under the delegated permission, right? So we'll quickly go to our portal, click on add permission, right, and then select the Azure Right Management Service, right, and then click on this, right, and then click on the delegated permission, and then provide the user impersonation, right? So this application will get the user impersonation API call access, so that it can impersonate with the required roles which I'm going to assign to this application and pull the logs from the required resources, right? Or you can manage the resources. Under the Microsoft Graph, which is already there, apart from user.read, we should also be adding user.read all, right? So what you can do, you can click again, add a permission, and if you go, this is a Microsoft Graph, click on delegated permission, and if you go below, you have a section called as user, right? And under the user, let us select user read all. I'm adding the permission. So here you have to grant the permission, but since this is my default directory, I have not created any directory or Azure AD in my demo, I don't have to do this specific, but otherwise you will have to get the grant from the administrator for this application, right? Okay, great. After doing this, what we have to do is we will go to the subscription, and since we want to pull the logs from the subscription level, we'll go to the subscription and we'll go to the IAM, and we'll provide the required roles to this application so that it can basically reach the resource and pull the required information from them. Without any roles assigned to an application that we have registered, no other activity will be able to possible. right? So we'll go to role assignment, and then you can click on add. Click on add role assignment. In this case, we have to provide the role of Azure Events Hub data owner, right? So if you see here, we have three roles: Azure Event Hub's data owner, Azure Event Hub's data receiver, and data sender. So if you select data sender, you'll get only the role to send the data to the event hub. If you select receiver, you are allowed only to receive the data, but in our case, we will need both the access, right? Because the application needs to send the data, that is activity logs needs to be sent to Azure Event Hub, and the Splunk should be able to receive it, right? So I'm going to select Azure Events Hub data owner. Now, as you see, you can assign this role to either use group or service principal application on which we want to assign the role, right? So in this case, the application that we have registered is Event Hub activity logging, and then we want to assign this role to Event Hub activity logging. It may take a minute to assign the role. Okay, great. So now on the Azure, on this application, the last thing that we have to do is we have to create these secret tokens, right? Which I forgot to mention in the steps. So let's quickly go to Azure AD, then app registration. Now select the application that you have just created, that is Event Hub activity logging, and here we have to create something called as certificates and secrets. So let's quickly click on the new client secret, and let us give the name as Splunk demo logging. You can give how much time you need, or what should be the retention of this password, and you can either customize it or you can keep up to 24. I'm just keeping this 3 months as of now, and click on add. So now remember to copy this password for the first time, because it will not be available at the later point of time. So now we have created the Azure Event Hub, and we have created the app registration, and we have configured it specifically. Now let's quickly jump on this Splunk side so that we can configure the receiver, right? So we have set up the event producer, we have set up the Azure Event Hub namespace and Event Hub. Now we are going to set up the Splunk side, right? As you have seen, I have already installed Splunk add-on for Microsoft Cloud Services. If you want to see what is the app ID, let me quickly go to that and show you. If I click on view details on Splunk base, so I can go and see the information about this application, right? So as you see, this is the app ID is 3110, and if you see here, it is mentioned clearly, the Splunk add-on for Microsoft Cloud Services allow a Splunk software administrator to pull the activity log, service status, operational messages, Azure audit, resource data, and storage table and blob data, right? And there are other various Microsoft Cloud Services which can be pulled, right? For example, Office 365 APIs, Azure Service Management API, and others, right? Just a note, if you utilize if you use the 4.1.2 version, it has some bug due to which you will not be able to pull the log. So use the latest version 4.1.3. Okay, so going back, once you install the Splunk add-on for Microsoft Cloud Services, go to your application and let me add the Azure app account, right? So I have to give the name, so let me give the name as demo activity event hub, and I need to give the client ID and the secret key, right? So I have to go to the Azure app ID. If you see, it is asking me to set up the Azure app account, the app account that I have created, right? So as you see, you have to go to the app registration, select your app, right? And then if you go to the overview, you can see the client ID is application client ID is this. So copy this ID, paste it here. The secret key, as I told you, right, which you can get from certificates and secrets, I told you to copy this because this won't be available for later time, right? So I have already saved it, so let me copy and paste this secret key, and the tenant ID again you'll get from the overview section. This is my directory tenant ID. I'll paste it, right? This is my public account, it's not a government account. I'll just move ahead and click on add. So as you see, demo activity event hub app account has been added here, right? So once this is done, as I told in the steps, you have to go and set up your inputs. So now we'll create a new input, and then let me name this South Central US. I'm an assumption that you guys already know that this is a regional based service, right? So that's the reason I'm giving the region name here, and then additionally you can say activity log, and then you can select the Azure app account. So here my account is demo activity event hub, and then you have to give the event hub fully qualified domain name, right? You can go to the event hub for that, select your event hub. So as you see, it is created on June 5th 2021, that is today. So what you can do, you need the fully qualified domain name. You can get the fully qualified domain name from here, right? So copy from here. So as I mentioned earlier, you will get, based on the name of your event hub namespace, you will get a fully qualified domain name. Copy this and paste in your fully qualified domain name. Let me zoom up there, right? Next you have to give the event hub name, right? So we have given the namespace already. We'll go to the entities event hub section. I'll select my demo event activity, and this is my name, right? So I can simply go to my demo event activity, right? And I'll give the event hub name. Consumer group, either you can leave it default, right? As you see, I have created a consumer group here called dev, but you can leave in default, and default also will work. I'm just leaving it default as of now for demo purpose. You can leave the various settings as it is, and in this case, if you see, the settings that you have to do is AMQP over socket, right? You can quickly check this Splunk document to see what all information that you have to fill in here, right? I'll provide the link for the same in the description. So you need to go to this, and then you can add it to the main, or what we can do, let's quickly create a new index. So let me go to settings, indexes, creating a new index. Let me name this as Azure. Let's keep it Azure, and then so I have my Azure created, right? Instead of refreshing, let me add main, and then the source type will be this. If you want, you can override the source type, right? Let me save this, and again I can modify this, right? So let me add this first. So I've added South Central activity logs. Let me edit this and change this to Azure, right? So now, as you see, I have my Azure event, I have my input South Central US activity logs, and its demo activity event hub account, based on which I'm going to pull the data in the Azure logs, right? So after performing this activity, let's quickly jump to our search and reporting app. So I'm searching for index to Azure. It might take some time to come in, for the data to come in. Let me give all time. Okay, I totally missed the last step. That is, once you perform all this activity, you have to go and enable the activity logs diagnostics in the subscription level, right? I'm really sorry for that. So let's quickly go to the subscription. Let us go to the home, go to the subscription, and this is my free trial subscription. Go to the activity logs, and in here, if you see, I have something called as diagnostic setting. Open the diagnostic settings, and let me add a diagnostic setting here. In this, I would like to take all the diagnostic setting, and then I would like to send this diagnostic setting to the event hub, right? What is my event hub here? If you see, my event hub name is my demo logging, right? So I'll go to my diagnostic setting, my demo logging, and then my demo event activity is my hub name. You can quickly check it here, event hubs, and my demo event activity, right? So my demo event activity, and if you see, it is asking for the policy name through which you want to pull the data from the event hub, right? As I told you, in the Event Hub namespace only, we have this shared access policy, which allows you to send and receive the data from or to the Azure Event Hub, right? So that's the reason it will be able, the Azure Event Hub will be able to identify that okay, this data is coming from subscription, which has the policy to allow it, right? And then give a name to it, right? Let me name this as demo activity logging. And then I have not selected the alert, if you see, because I don't have the insights, Microsoft Insights permission here in the free trial to do this activity. That's why I have not selected alert here, right? Okay, fine, great. So now we have our Azure Event Hub created, we have our Azure app created and configured, we have our Splunk created and configured. Now we have enabled the logs also. So now quickly we can go to the Event Hub, and let me make it full screen. And if you see in the overview section, you have something called as, you have some dashboard, right? Here if you see, as of now I have 39 incoming requests and there is no outgoing messages yet, right? So we don't have the data yet going. Let us wait for some time. It should be throwing in data into the Splunk in some time. Okay, so as you see, after some time I can see few logs coming from the Azure to my Splunk, right? As you see, I don't have much activity being done on the South Central US, as most of the activity that you will see is in specific regions, Central India, and that's the reason I have very few logs here, right? So but if you see the required information, you can see here, right? I got the host, the source is from my demo-logging service bus.windows.net from the default consumer group, right? Partition ID is 0, and then the event hub name is my demo event activity, right? Just to be sure, we can go to event hubs, and here if you see, this is my demo event activity event hub, right? So as you see, I received the log, right? If you see in the index is equal to main, I've been receiving a lot of I've been receiving quite a larger amount of logs in this main, because this is from the region Central India, and if you see, this is from the different event hub namespace, that is activity logs -logging, which you see if I go to my event hubs, you will see activity logs -logging, that this is South Central India, right? As you see, that's the reason I have pretty more logs in this, but compared to the one in the South Central US. And the index where okay, if you see, I got few more logs now, right? In the Azure, I totally got a total of 6 logs in this now, right? So you can see, you can get, all the data has been passed properly, and you get all the required information here, right? This is my body, you can see all the records that you have, right? Relocation South India, the caller IP address, and other things. So in this way you can perform the integration of activity logs at the subscription level with the Splunk via the Azure Event Hub, right? Azure Event Hub is a streaming service, so the data that you will receive will be quickly receiving in the event as it happens on the Azure, right? Otherwise, if you're trying to pull from the log analytics workspace, you will face a lot of issue like higher latency issue, parsing issue, and others, right? So the best way and the recommended way by Microsoft also is to pull the activity logs or other services possibly via the Azure Event Hub. And apart from that, I'll give you these links. This is basically the built-in rows that we have in Azure AD. You can always go here and check what kind of rows that you need for your application, which are going to do the registration for the specific resources, right? And then this is the link where it will help you to create the Azure AD and assign a service principal role for the same, right? I'll provide you these links, and then the Splunk docs, all of them will be provided in the description, right? Okay, great. So hope you like the video, and I hope you got learning on the Azure Event Hub and how can we integrate the data very swiftly from Azure to the Splunk, right? Let me know if you want to cover some other topics from the integration side or from the logging perspective. or if you have some other topic in your mind from the security side, please let me know. I'll try to cover as soon as possible. Great. To watch more such videos, more such informative video, please like this video and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you.